Close your eyes and take a deep breath. Let the world fade away for a moment. Feel the quiet. Feel the stillness. Feel the space behind your eyes. That vast, limitless space that holds everything you have ever imagined, everything you have ever desired, and everything that will ever come to you. In this sacred silence, we begin. You have been told for so long that the world outside controls you, that circumstances, people, and luck decide your fate. But tonight, I tell you something infinitely greater. The power that shapes your world, the force that writes your story, is not out there. It is within you. Right now, right here, awake alive, waiting for your command. Your imagination is not fantasy, it is creation itself. What you dare to assume as true, what you dare to feel as real, becomes your world. You have imagined your life into being, and whether you did it consciously or unconsciously, every scene you live today was first conceived in the invisible workshop of your mind. Now breathe again, slowly, gently. Let your awareness move inward. Don't chase your thoughts. Let them come and go like waves on the surface of the sea. Beneath those waves, there is stillness, and in that stillness lies your true creative power. I want you to understand this deeply. Your consciousness is the only reality. Everything you see, touch, love, and lose begins and ends within the theater of your awareness. When you change your state of consciousness, the entire world rearranges itself to reflect that new state. If you feel poor, the world will show you poverty. If you feel abundant, abundance will rush to greet you. If you feel unloved, faces will turn away. But when you feel love within, when you dwell in the feeling that you are cherished, that you are seen, that you are whole, every door opens. The invisible becomes visible. The secret is not to fight with appearances. The secret is to ignore what is and lie from what you desire as though it already is. Now imagine the thing you want most. Don't think of it as something out there. Don't beg for it. Don't chase it. Step into it. Feel it as though it is already done. Feel the reality of the wish fulfilled. If it's freedom, feel what freedom feels like. The lightness, the calm, the joy of waking up with nothing weighing on you. If it's love, feel what it feels like to be adored. Not by someone else first, but by your own heart. If it's success, see yourself already there. The applause, the sense of completion, the gratitude that flows through you. Do not worry about how it will happen. That is not your concern. The how belongs to the unseen intelligence that obeys your inner state. You are not the worker, you are the dreamer, and the dreamer commands the creation. Everything you can conceive, you can achieve, but not by effort, by assumption. Assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled and continue in that state until it becomes natural. Now, as your eyes remain closed, I want you to test this truth. Imagine a simple scene that would happen if your desire were already true. Maybe it's a friend shaking your hand saying, "Congratulations." Maybe it's you looking at your bank balance and smiling. Maybe it's you walking through a door that once seemed closed. Hear the sounds. Feel the air. Notice how real it feels. That's it. You're not pretending. You are creating. This act, this sacred inner act, is the only creative power that exists. And once you feel it real, once you saturate your mind with that reality, the outer world must conform. There is no one to convince. There is no one to beg. The world is only your mirror. Now open your mind wider. Let's go deeper. Every emotion you carry is an instruction to the universe. Fear tells it to delay. Doubt tells it to distort. Faith tells it to deliver. The law responds to your inner conviction. Not your words, not your tears, but your feeling. So, feel now what it's like to have everything you've ever wanted. Feel it. Don't reason with it. Don't measure time. Just dwell in it as if you were born for it. Because you were. This is the truth that has been hidden from you. You are already everything you seek. You are not trying to become something greater. You are awakening to what you already are. You see, when you say, "I am," you touch the infinite. Those two words, "I am," are the name of the creative power itself. What you place after them shapes your world. Say quietly in your mind, "I am blessed. I am loved. I am powerful. I am already there." Don't wait for the feeling to come. Create it, generate it. Your imagination is the generator of reality. Every moment you imagine, you are planting seeds. And every seed will bear fruit in its own appointed hour. Don't dig it up with doubt. Don't water it with worry. Simply rest in the knowing that it is done. Now imagine walking through a day in your new reality. Picture yourself waking up where you want to be. Feel the bed beneath you. Hear the sounds of your new world. See the faces of those who celebrate your success. Move through your day, the calls, the smiles, the gratitude, the peace. This is your new normal. Stay there for a while. Let it feel familiar. The more natural it feels, the faster it manifests. You are not visualizing to make something happen. You are visualizing because it already has. Let that truth sink in. Every time you dwell on your desire as fulfilled, you are rewriting your subconscious blueprint. And the subconscious has no choice but to externalize what you impress upon it. That is why imagination is not idle play. It is the very mechanism of creation. When you were a child, you imagined freely. You could become anything in a heartbeat. That innocence was not foolishness, it was power. Now, as an awakened adult, you return to that creative innocence with awareness. You are the dreamer dreaming your world into form. Tonight, as you listen, I want you to abandon the old version of yourself, the one who doubted, the one who waited, the one who feared. Leave them here. You are reborn into a higher knowing that your mind is the only author of your life. Feel how powerful that is. The entire universe bends to the vibration of your inner state. When you feel lack, it multiplies. When you feel abundance, it overflows. When you live in gratitude, life conspires to give you more to be grateful for. There is no partial law, it is absolute. You receive what you assume. Now, imagine you are standing before a mirror. In the reflection, you see your best self, radiant, confident, fulfilled. Look into their eyes. That is you, the real you, free of doubt, alive with purpose. Ask this version of yourself, what would you do if you knew you could not fail? And then listen. Whatever answer arises, that's your next step. Act upon that inner guidance, not from fear but from knowing. When you act from your assumed reality, the world adjusts instantly. People will appear, opportunities will align, paths will open. Why? Because reality is elastic. It bends to the strength of your assumption. Now, let's test this principle with a small experiment. Tonight, before you sleep, take one simple desire. Something small, something believable. Imagine it fulfilled. Feel it real until it feels complete. Then let it go and fall asleep in that feeling. In the coming days, watch as the outer world arranges itself to reflect that inner assumption. It will come in the most natural way, but you will know it was you. Once you prove this truth to yourself, you'll never doubt again. You will see that the entire game of life is a dance between imagination and belief. No one can do it for you, but no one can stop you either. You can be, do, and have anything when you align your inner feeling with your desired outcome. Now breathe again, slowly, deeply. Feel that you are awakening, not from a dream, but into one. For life itself is a dream, and you are its dreamer. Every time you say, it is done, the universe answers, yes. Every time you say, I am ready, life responds, then here it is. And when you no longer ask, but know, that's when miracles unfold. So live as though it were already done. Speak as though it were already true. Feel as though you could never lose. And you will find that the world cannot resist your conviction, because creation is finished. Every possibility already exists. You simply select the state you wish to experience and occupy it. The moment you assume it, it is yours. Stop trying. Start knowing. Stop waiting. Start living from the end. You are not waiting for your desire to come to you. You are becoming the person who already has it, and the world must mirror that version. Right now, as you listen, something within you is awakening. That silent power that has always been there. The creative spirit that once moved the stars now moves within you. Let it take over. You are not small. You are not limited. You are the infinite experiencing itself as you. So declare it now. I am the master of my mind. I am the creator of my reality. I am the source of every miracle in my life. Or feel those words vibrate through you. From this moment, never again say, I hope. Say, I know. Never again say, one day. Say, it is done. And when doubt comes, and it will, don't fight it. Just return to the feeling. Return to the inner scene where all is well, all is complete, all is yours. Because your inner world is the seedbed of every outer change. You are the author, the dreamer, the actor, and the stage itself. You came here not to struggle, but to remember who you are. So close your eyes once more. Feel the infinite silence behind your breath. In that silence, whisper to yourself, it is done. I am that. Feel the energy moving within you. Every word, every thought, Every image you hold now is programming the infinite mind to shape the world around you. The outer reality is clay, your inner conviction is the sculptor. When you feel certainty, the form takes shape. When you hesitate, the clay collapses back into formlessness. So hold your feeling steady. Hold your belief steady. Imagine now that your mind is a field, vast, fertile, eternal. Every thought you plant is a seed. Most people scatter seeds of worry, fear, and limitation, and then they wonder why their life bears bitter fruit. But you, tonight, will plant only one kind of seed, the seed of fulfillment. Picture yourself planting it gently into the soil of your subconscious. You water it with faith. You nurture it with gratitude. You rest in the knowing that it is already growing, unseen, unstoppable, inevitable. You never dig up a seed to see if it's sprouting. You trust the process. The unseen realm is your ally, not your enemy. It works tirelessly to bring to life whatever you dare to feel real. Now lift your awareness higher, beyond thoughts, beyond form, beyond time. The mind that creates is not bound by past or future. It only knows now. The only moment that exists is now, and the only power that exists is imagination. When you enter the state of the wish fulfilled, you collapse time. You live in the end, and the end becomes the beginning. Every person, every event, every coincidence bends to that inner assumption. People will call it luck. They will call it chance. But you will know it was law. You may not realize it yet, but right now, in this moment, you are shifting dimensions. You are stepping out of the world where your desires were distant and into the world where they already belong to you. And as you hold that inner state, the outer must yield. There is no competition in creation. What is yours is already yours. What belongs to your consciousness cannot be taken, delayed, or denied. When you worry, you separate yourself from the state of fulfillment. When you feel gratitude, you merge with it. So stay grateful. Gratitude is the voice of faith. It is the acknowledgement that the unseen has already acted on your behalf. Now imagine again. This time, see yourself standing on a mountaintop. The sky is clear, vast, endless. You feel the wind move through you, carrying away every limitation, every trace of doubt. You stand tall, radiant, infinite. From this height, you see your life unfolding perfectly, not as something you must chase, but as something that flows to you naturally. Every heartbeat affirms it. It is done. Every breath carries the vibration of I am. The more you feel it, the more the universe responds. Because your feeling is the prayer, your emotion is the magnet, and your conviction is the command. When you dwell in fear, you command delay. When you dwell in faith, you command manifestation. It is never the outer world that decides. The decision is made the moment you choose what to feel. Don't let appearances distract you. The outer world is slow, like the echo of a sound you made long ago. What you see now is the residue of old assumptions. But your new assumption, the one you are forming right now, is already shaping the next scene of your life. So don't react. Create. If the world shows you lack, close your eyes and see abundance. If someone doubts you, close your eyes and hear their voice praising you. If your body feels weak, close your eyes and feel it strong, glowing with life. Because the world must follow your inner command. You have lived too long thinking you are at the mercy of circumstances. The truth is, circumstances are at the mercy of your imagination. Every time you accept an idea as true, it enters the subconscious and begins to express itself. So guard your inner speech. Speak only what you wish to live. Speak only from completion, never from lack. When you say, I don't have, you push it away. When you say, it is mine, you draw it near. Every word you utter within, not aloud, but within, is creative. So discipline your inner conversations. Talk to yourself as one who already possesses everything. Imagine the voices of those who congratulate you. Imagine the messages that come to you saying, I knew you'd make it. Hear them in detail. Let your imagination create the scene so vividly that it becomes alive within you. Do this not once, but often. Repetition is the language of the subconscious. The more you return to the feeling, the more natural it becomes, and what is natural must manifest. This is how the unseen becomes seen. Do not measure progress by outer signs. Measure it by inner peace. The moment you feel at rest in your assumption, it is already done. Many people make the mistake of trying too hard, of pushing, forcing, striving. Creation is not force, it is surrender. It is resting in the certainty that your imagination is reality. The harder you try, the more you affirm that you do not yet have it. But the moment you rest in the knowing, the moment you stop striving, creation begins to flow. You are never asking for what you want, you are selecting it. Creation is finished. Every possible version of your life already exists. You simply align yourself with the version that contains what you desire by assuming it is already yours. If you can imagine it, it is already real in another dimension. Your assumption is the bridge between that dimension and this one. Now, become aware of how powerful you are. The thoughts you think right now are shaping the fabric of tomorrow. The emotions you hold are writing the script that the world will act out for you. Do not underestimate this. Every feeling is creative. When you feel joy without reason, life will give you reasons to feel more joy. When you feel success before seeing it, success must appear. Feelings are the mold, reality is the cast. You are not a victim of life, you are the author of it. Every event, every person, every opportunity that will ever appear in your path is being drawn right now by the state you occupy. If you want to change your life, you don't need to change the world. You only need to change the state from which you live. A state is not a place, it is a vibration of consciousness. You can move from fear to faith as easily as moving from one room to another. Just decide. If you feel doubt, don't fight it, replace it. Close your eyes and step into the feeling of already having what you desire. Stay there until doubt dissolves. The mind is obedient. It takes the form of whatever you persistently impress upon it. You are the master. You have always been. The only thing that kept you from knowing it was your own disbelief. But tonight, that disbelief fades. You are remembering. You are awakening to the truth that the same power that created the stars is breathing through your thoughts. The same creative fire that shaped galaxies responds instantly to your inner assumption. That is how divine you are. Now, breathe and feel that power. It is subtle, silent, but undeniable. It moves through every cell, every thought, every heartbeat. It whispers, I am. And in that I am, all things exist. Say it quietly. I am unlimited. I am the creator. I am fulfilled. Each time you affirm this, you rewrite the story of your life. The mind accepts what it hears repeatedly and emotionally. So feed it only what you wish to leave. If the outer world contradicts your vision, smile. You are seeing the shadow of the old. The new is already forming. The unseen is rearranging. Stay faithful to the unseen, for it is the seed of the seen. Never seek from without what can only come from within. Everything you desire, love, peace, wealth, success, begins as a state of being. When you embody the feeling, you attract the form. You do not chase, you magnetize. You do not force, you flow. Every great manifestation in your life begins with a single decision to assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled and never abandon it. Persist until the feeling becomes natural. Once it feels natural, reality must conform. You will notice it subtly at first. A coincidence here, a conversation there. But soon the evidence will become undeniable, and you will smile knowing you have found the key. The key was never outside. It was never luck or fate. It was your own imagination directed with purpose. Keep your eyes closed a little longer. Stay in this vibration. The longer you dwell here, the more powerful your assumption becomes. You can feel it now, the word inside you shifting, aligning, awakening. Everything begins to look effortless. Life no longer resists you because you are no longer resisting it. This is what it means to live consciously. To know that every event is a reflection of your inner state. You will no longer ask, when will it come? Because you know it is already here. You will no longer say, I hope it happens, because you know it already has. You will no longer live in waiting, but in being. Every cell in your body vibrates with this truth. I am the creator of my reality. And from this knowing, new worlds unfold. New worlds unfold with every breath you take. Every inhalation draws in the substance of the unseen. Every exhalation releases your old assumptions back into nothingness. The universe listens to the quiet rhythm of your awareness. It does not respond to noise, it responds to certainty. It bends to the one who knows. And you are that one. The more you trust your inner world, the more obedient the outer becomes. The moment you stop reacting and start assuming, the outer begins to move like a river following the shape of your belief. You do not fight the current, you guide it with the feeling of already having arrived. Each thought is an instruction, each emotion is a decree. You are not sending requests into space, you are activating realities. Every time you say within yourself, I am, you ignite a universe. Feel it. Let the words, I am, echo through you like a vibration that expands without limit. That vibration is the creative life itself, taking the form of whatever you attach to it. When you say, I am free, freedom begins to rearrange itself around you. When you say, I am loved, love finds its way to you from every direction. When you say, I am abundance, the invisible begins to take on the texture of prosperity. It must. It cannot do otherwise. You have lived thinking creation was outside, but creation only responds to the language of inner conviction. You are learning now to speak that language fluently. You are learning to dwell in a state until it becomes second nature. You are training your imagination to rest in completion, not desire. And as you rest there, life obeys. People come to you who carry the pieces of your vision. Doors open that were once invisible. The very air begins to move differently. You walk through the world not as a seeker, but as one who knows. You stop needing proof because your feeling is the proof. Now sense the stillness underneath your thoughts. That stillness is your foundation. Out of that stillness, form arises. It is not empty, it is full of infinite potential. You are standing inside that field now, surrounded by endless versions of yourself. You choose with your attention which one to embody. You shift dimensions not by movement, but by imagination. So shift now. Step into the version of you who already has it all. The version who wakes every morning with gratitude instead of worry, with excitement instead of fear. See through their eyes. Hear with their calm certainty. Feel how natural it is to live in alignment. Notice how this version of you no longer doubts, no longer chases, no longer questions timing. This version knows that everything unfolds in divine sequence. There is no delay, there is only perfect orchestration. You live from that awareness now. Everything that used to feel far away begins to feel familiar. Everything that used to feel heavy becomes light. You are realizing that effort is not the path, assumption is. The universe responds to ease, not struggle. When you act from pressure, you affirm lack. When you act from knowing, you affirm completion. That is why effortless action, the kind born from conviction, produces miraculous results. Imagine yourself moving through your days effortlessly aligned. Every word you speak carries weight. Every step you take moves you into higher states of experience. You are no longer trying to become, you are expressing what you already are. Feel how natural that is. Creation is not a performance, it is remembrance. You are remembering what has always been true, that consciousness is the only power, and you are that consciousness individualized. Let that awareness spread through you like light dissolving shadow. It touches every corner of your mind and rewrites every false belief. All fear melts away because there is no longer anything to fear. You are cause, not effect. From this place, even challenges transform. They no longer intimidate you, they serve you. Every obstacle becomes a bridge, every delay becomes alignment, every ending becomes a beginning. You see through the illusion of opposition because you know there is only one power acting, and that power is your own consciousness. The world around you becomes fluid. What seems solid begins to yield to your assumptions. Reality bends softly, subtly, gracefully. You feel yourself in harmony with everything. Birds sing differently, the air feels alive, time slows to your rhythm. You have entered the state of dominion, not over others, but over self. And in that dominion, you discover peace. Not a fragile peace that depends on circumstances, but a peace born from knowing that you are safe in your own creation. You know that every scene is temporary, every condition is malleable, every experience is a mirror. You look into that mirror and smile, because now you recognize your reflection. Let your imagination roam freely now. See yourself in places you have never been but always dreamed of. Walk through the home you desire. Feel your hands on the walls. Smell the air. Hear laughter echo through the rooms. Feel the gratitude rise within you as though it has already happened, because in imagination it has. And since imagination creates reality, it must now unfold in time. But you will not wait with impatience. You will rest in confidence. The seed has been planted, the law cannot fail. You are becoming more sensitive to your inner dialogue. You catch every word, every thought, every image that contradicts your assumption, and you gently replace it. You are the caretaker of your inner garden. Only what serves your vision may stay. You no longer feed fear. You no longer water doubt. You nurture faith, love, and certainty. These grow tall and strong within you, shading out everything that once hindered your growth. You realize now that manifesting is not about getting, it is about being. When you become the vibration of what you desire, you are no longer separate from it. It must meet you. This is why feeling is everything. Feeling is the bridge between the invisible and the visible. When you feel the wish fulfilled, the bridge is crossed. And as you master this, you notice how quiet your mind becomes. You no longer argue with yourself. You no longer debate possibility. You simply assume and allow. The silence of knowing replaces the noise of needing. You begin to live in rhythm with the infinite. Life flows around you effortlessly. Everything seems to arrive at perfect timing. You are guided not by struggle but by inspiration. The right people, the right ideas, the right opportunities drift toward you like leaves carried by a gentle current. Every moment confirms your power. Each day feels lighter. You begin to understand that manifestation is not an event, it is a continuous unfolding. You are always manifesting, whether consciously or not. Now you do it with awareness, with purpose, with grace. You do not chase your desires because they are not separate from you. They are extensions of your state. When you elevate your state, the desires appear naturally. So elevate again. Feel higher. Think higher. Speak from the mountaintop of knowing. Every I am you utter from that height reshapes the world below. The invisible forces rush to align. People think you are lucky. They do not see the inner work, the quiet creation that precedes every miracle. But you know, and that knowing is enough. You no longer seek validation. You no longer ask for signs. You have become the sign. You walk in the energy of answered prayer. You live as proof that imagination is reality. You look at the world and realize it is not separate from you. It is you objectified. Every smile, every challenge, every blessing is you in another form, showing you what you believe. And so you bless it all. You bless the process. You bless the unfolding. You bless every step, knowing it all leads to fulfillment. Your consciousness expands with each realization. You begin to feel connected to everything: the sky, the earth, the stars. You sense that all creation moves with one heartbeat, and that heartbeat is your own. You no longer feel small. You no longer feel unworthy. You stand in the vastness of your being, realizing that every limitation was imagined and therefore can be dissolved by new imagination. You are infinite potential aware of itself. You are the dream dreaming and the dreamer awakened. The more you accept this truth, the more effortless life becomes. Nothing is too big, nothing is too far. The very concept of impossible disappears from your vocabulary. Everything becomes play. You imagine, you feel, you allow, and creation responds like a loyal friend. You are not surprised by miracles anymore. They have become natural. You look around and realize that what you once prayed for is now your ordinary life. You smile because you remember the nights you imagined it, felt it, lived it inwardly before it came. You know now that this is how everything is created: in silence, in feeling, in faith. And the cycle continues. Each fulfilled desire gives birth to new expansion. Each manifestation invites a greater vision. You are never stagnant, never finished, never done. You are eternal creativity expressing itself through endless forms. You awaken every day with the same gentle certainty: I am the creator, I am the source, I am the dreamer who cannot fail. And from that awareness, new worlds unfold again. New worlds unfold again, each more vivid, each more radiant than the last. You are moving through layers of your own consciousness, discovering that there is no ceiling to imagination. Each idea you accept as true becomes a doorway, and each doorway opens to an experience matching its vibration. You realize that you do not travel through space, you travel through states. Space rearranges itself around the state you occupy. When you live in abundance, you find yourself surrounded by abundance. When you live in freedom, every chain disappears. The outer world adjusts itself to reflect the inner tone you carry. There is no resistance in creation, only correspondence. Everything is responding to your assumption right now. You are beginning to feel the precision of this law. It never fails, it never sleeps, it never forgets. The universe mirrors the pattern you hold most consistently. When you choose joy as your resting state, life must echo joy back to you. When you choose peace, the storm cannot reach you. The moment you claim a new identity, reality begins to reorganize. Old patterns dissolve, people drift away, circumstances transform, because your vibration has changed. Nothing real is lost, only illusions fall away. You are not losing, you are aligning. You are tuning to a higher frequency where only that which belongs to your vision can exist. Every morning becomes sacred. You wake not to react to the day, but to create it. Before your feet touch the floor, you feel the scene of what you wish to experience. You taste the satisfaction of the fulfilled desire. You give thanks, not because something has appeared, but because you know it already has. And then, as you move through your day, you notice the invisible hand arranging everything to match that inner feeling. Even when appearances contradict your desire, you remain unmoved. You remember that the visible is delayed light, an echo of the past. You no longer argue with echoes. You keep your focus on the sound you are now creating. Every second is a creative moment. Every breath carries intention. You no longer drift unconsciously through time. You live deliberately, directing thought like an artist shapes color. You become the composer of your reality, each assumption a note in the grand symphony of your existence. You begin to see how gentle creation truly is. There is no force, only focus. There is no striving, only surrender. You understand that your imagination is infinite intelligence acting through you. It knows the way, even when you do not. You no longer ask how. You rest in is done. The body relaxes, the mind quiets, the heart expands. You sense life responding in the subtlest ways. A message arrives, an encounter unfolds, an idea flashes across your mind, and you know these are the ripples of your assumption taking form. You treat each sign not with excitement or desperation, but with calm acknowledgement. Of course, it is happening. Of course, it is unfolding. The law could do nothing else. You move in a world of certainty now. The more you practice this awareness, the more natural it becomes. You no longer need to remind yourself to imagine. Imagination becomes your default mode of being. Every idle moment becomes a canvas for creation. You no longer use imagination to escape the world, you use it to design it. Your senses become sharper. You notice how your thoughts feel. You feel the subtle shift between belief and doubt. You catch yourself the moment you slip into an old state, and with ease, you return to your chosen one. You begin to live like a magician who finally understands their wand. Your word is power. When you speak inwardly with conviction, the unseen listens. Every decree made in feeling becomes command. You no longer use words casually because you know they carry energy. Each sentence you form in imagination sets creation in motion. You learn to speak the language of the end. Instead of asking, you affirm. Instead of wanting, you embody. You say, I am already there. And by saying it, you are. Everywhere you go, reality bends to accommodate your state. You walk through doors that seem to open by themselves. You meet people who seem destined to appear. Synchronicities follow you like loyal companions. You do not chase them, they orbit around you naturally. You realize that creation loves the one who trusts it. The moment you stop doubting, it rushes to serve you. The universe is not testing you, it is reflecting you. Every delay is simply your own hesitation mirrored back. Every acceleration is your faith returning multiplied. You begin to treat your imagination as sacred space. Before you act, you enter it. Before you speak, you align with it. Before you decide, you feel the end. You understand now that the invisible precedes the visible. Nothing appears before it is imagined. The world becomes a living dream, pliable, responsive, alive with meaning. You are no longer the observer. You are the dreamer inside the dream, steering it with awareness. You change the inner scene, and the outer shifts automatically. You start to play with this power gently. You imagine small things, and they happen quickly. You imagine larger things, and they form gradually, perfectly timed. Each success deepens your faith until doubt becomes a stranger. Your energy changes. People notice it. They feel your calm certainty, your radiant confidence. They sense that something invisible moves with you. You don't explain it, you simply live it. You let your life speak. You begin to understand why faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Faith is not belief in the unseen. It is the unseen itself made tangible in consciousness. When you have faith, you already hold it. So you nurture faith as your most precious possession. You treat it like the foundation of your world. You protect it from fear, from distraction, from doubt. You cultivate it with imagination until it becomes unshakable. And as faith grows, so does manifestation. What once took months now takes days. What once felt impossible now feels inevitable. The rhythm of life speeds up, not in chaos, but in harmony. You and creation move as one. You no longer wait for signs because you realize you are the sign. You no longer wait for permission because you are the authority. You no longer ask, will it happen? Because you live from the knowing that it already has. Every breath is an affirmation. Every heartbeat is creation echoing, yes. You see the perfection in every unfolding. Even apparent mistakes become lessons of alignment. Even loss becomes transformation. You no longer divide life into good and bad. You see only movement, only expansion. Everything serves you, everything teaches you, everything brings you home to yourself. And through this awareness, love deepens. Not the love that depends on conditions, but the love that arises from unity. You love the seen and the unseen, the visible and the invisible, because you know they are one. You live lightly now. You no longer grip outcomes, you allow them. You no longer cling to identities, you flow through them. You move from state to state with ease, knowing that each one is just an expression of infinite being. You have become the conscious traveler of dimensions, the deliberate dreamer, the awakened creator. You walk through life in quiet awe, knowing that every moment is your imagination crystallized. And so you continue imagining greater, feeling deeper, believing stronger. The field responds, reality bends, and new worlds unfold again. You begin to feel how vast you truly are, how limitless your consciousness has always been. Every boundary you once believed in starts to dissolve, and in its place rises a knowing that you were never confined, never small, never limited by time or circumstance. You realize that the same power that paints the stars also breathes through you, and every heartbeat is a reminder of your creative nature. You stand now as both observer and creator, as the dreamer and the dream. As you hold that awareness, you sense your energy radiating beyond your body, beyond the room, reaching into the field of pure potential. It listens, it responds, it begins to rearrange itself to reflect your inner alignment. You feel reality bending softly around you, shaping itself to the rhythm of your thoughts. The more you stay in this frequency of certainty, the faster the unseen becomes seen. You remember now that creation is effortless. You don't push energy, you direct it. You don't fight for outcomes, you assume them. When you feel the reality of your desire so completely that the outer world becomes secondary, the law has no choice but to conform. It is obedient to the state you occupy. It listens to your vibration, not your words. The outer world is not your master. It is your mirror. It has no life independent of your inner conversation. What you whisper within becomes what you walk among. Every emotion, every image, every belief projected inward is returning to you as circumstance. So you become deliberate in your inner talk. You begin to speak to yourself in the language of completion. You say, it is done, and you feel it as though it already is. Your imagination becomes a sacred workshop. You enter it daily, quietly, gently, like stepping into a temple of light. You take a single desire and dress it in sensory detail. You see it, you hear it, you feel it. You make it alive. You don't ask when it will come. You let the experience saturate your being until it feels natural. And when you open your eyes, you carry that feeling with you, wearing it as invisibly as breath. Soon the world reflects that invisible attire. People respond differently. Opportunities appear effortlessly. Paths open that logic cannot explain. It feels as though creation is leaning toward you, eager to fulfill what you've accepted as true. You understand now that it has always been this way. Only your awareness was asleep. You walk through life now as one who knows. You no longer pray for things to happen. You commune with the reality where they already have. You no longer wait for signs, you generate them. You no longer seek evidence, you embody it. This is the secret movement of creation, the still, inner shift that sets universes in motion. When you look into the mirror, you no longer see just a reflection. You see a gateway, a reminder that everything visible is molded by the invisible. The eyes that look back at you are not separate from the power that forms worlds. They are the instruments through which imagination observes itself. You smile, knowing that every glance, every thought, every whisper of awareness is shaping existence. You move through the day like a calm flame, steady, bright, unbothered by wind. You are no longer reactive, you are responsive. You are not at the mercy of circumstance, you are the cause of it. You walk with quiet confidence, for you know that reality bends to the one who assumes. And as the days unfold, the line between imagination and experience begins to blur. The scenes you once held in thought now stand before you. The people you envisioned appear. The sounds, the colors, the sensations you once dreamed of now fill your waking life. And yet it feels natural, as though it could not have been otherwise. You understand that manifestation is not a miracle but a law, and you are that law in motion. You begin to love the process, not just the result. You find joy in assuming, peace in believing, beauty in persistence. You realize that every desire is not a sign of lack, but an invitation to expand. The moment you desire, creation has already begun. Desire and fulfillment are two ends of the same energy. When you feel the end, you complete the circuit. You start to look back at your life with new eyes. You see how every event, even those once painful, led you here to understanding, to awakening, to mastery. You no longer resent the past, you reinterpret it. You say, that too was me creating. You see the divine intelligence even in detours. You bless the contrast, for it revealed your power. And now, standing in this awareness, you feel a new level of responsibility, not as burden, but as privilege. To know you create is to live consciously. You become careful with thought, generous with imagination, kind in assumption. You see everyone as yourself pushed out, each person an aspect of your own consciousness reflecting your dominant state. So you love them, because in loving them, you elevate yourself. Every act of love becomes creation at its highest frequency. Love is not a feeling you wait for, it is a state you choose. When you love, you align with the highest vibration of existence. And in that vibration, everything you desire flows effortlessly. You start to live each day as an experiment in imagination. You test the law and it proves itself again and again. You imagine receiving a call and the call comes. You imagine an opportunity and the opportunity appears. You imagine health and vitality returns. The world cannot resist the one who knows. And the more you create consciously, the quieter you become. There is no need to boast, no urge to prove. You know that what is yours will find you because you have already found it within. The calm confidence becomes your signature energy. You walk in peace, and peace walks with you. You begin to notice time bending around your awareness. Things that once seemed distant approach with speed. Circumstances that once felt fixed dissolve overnight. You realize that time is just the unfolding of your assumption. And when your assumption is firm, time has no choice but to comply. In that realization, you no longer rush. You live in the rhythm of divine timing. You let things unfold in perfect order, knowing there is no delay, only preparation. You release the need to control because you understand that the unseen knows better than your surface mind. You see the beauty of this journey. How life, once heavy, now feels like a dance between the visible and invisible. You play your part not with effort, but with awareness. You act not to make things happen, but because they already have. Every move becomes an expression of fulfillment, not pursuit. Your imagination becomes your home. You retreat there often, not to escape the world, but to renew it. Each time you enter, you reshape the substance of your life. You become both the sculptor and the clay. You mold experiences with ease, because you now understand that all form begins as formless thought. You no longer ask, can I? You ask, what will I choose? You no longer see limits, only possibilities. The impossible becomes your playground because you know that imagination is the soil of all miracles. And as you dwell in that state, the atmosphere around you thickens with certainty. People feel it. Environments respond to it. You have entered alignment with your higher nature, and everything must conform to that truth. The world itself begins to glow differently. The sky seems more alive, sounds more resonant, light more vivid. You are seeing with awakened eyes now, eyes that recognize divinity in every atom. And through it all, your heart remains still, steady, open. You know that nothing can be lost, nothing can truly harm you, because all is within. You are the cause, the center, the creator of it all. You breathe and reality listens. You imagine and the universe obeys. And so you continue endlessly, beautifully, awakening deeper into yourself, expanding beyond all former limits, discovering again and again that your imagination is infinite, and through it, you can manifest everything. Now open your eyes. Look around you. Nothing has changed, and yet everything has changed. The world before you is the same stage, but you are no longer the same actor. You have awakened to your own power. The power to imagine, to assume, to become. From this moment on, you no longer wait for miracles, you create them. You no longer seek the light, you realize you are the light. Remember this truth: your reality is not happening to you, it is happening through you. Every thought, every image, every feeling you hold with faith becomes form. So guard your inner world as the sacred ground of creation. Speak only of what you wish to live. Feel only what you wish to see. Walk forward now with quiet confidence, knowing that the universe is not your master, it is your mirror. And when you command it with love, belief, and unwavering imagination, it cannot resist you. You are the dreamer, the creator, the divine power in motion. From this moment, let the world respond to the truth you now live. You are unlimited, and everything is already yours.